In this video, we will study about the law of conservation of linear momentum. So, what is the law of conservation of linear momentum? According to this law, when no external force acts on a system of interacting particles, the total linear momentum of the system remains conserved. See, one important thing is there that when no external force, there should be no external force. When no external force is acting on a system of particles, then what happens then? Then total linear momentum remains conserved. Total linear momentum remains conserved. Momentum remains conserved. This is the law of conservation of linear momentum, and we will prove it. Conserved. Now we will prove this law by using the Newton's second law and by using the Newton's third law. So first of all, I am proving it that derivation of law of conservation of linear momentum by Newton's second law of motion by NLM2. We are proving this law by NLM2. See, let us consider an isolated system. What is isolated system? It is the system on which no external force is acting. Isolated means no external force is acting on it. Isolated. Let us consider an isolated system in which there are n particles and their masses are m1, m2, m3 and so on up to mn, and they are moving with the velocities v1 vector, v2 vector, v3 vector and so on vn vector, and the total linear momentum of them will be p vector will be equal to, momentum is denoted by p, so p vector will be equal to m1 v1 vector plus m2 v2 vector plus m3 v3 vector and so on mn vn vector. Or I can say this one is the momentum of first particle, this one is the momentum of second particle, this one is the momentum of third and so on, this one is the momentum of nth particle. So this one is p vector. Now by Newton's second law, we know that f vector is equals to dp by dt, and question is also saying that for an isolated system, what happens for an isolated system? The external force is 0, or I can say there is no external force, so I can write it as 0. So differentiation of p vector is equals to 0. We know that differentiation of constant is 0, so I can say that from here p vector is equals to constant. P vector is equals to constant. And what is p vector? P vector is the sum of p1 p2 up to pn, so I can write it as p1 vector plus p2 vector plus p3 vector and so on plus pn vector is equals to constant. So the sum of linear momentum of each particle is constant. Hence, I can say that it is the total linear momentum which remains conserved, or I can say constant, when no external force is acting. So this is the proof of law of conservation of linear momentum by using the Newton's law of motion second. Now we will prove it by using Newton's third law. So by Newton's law of motion third. See, let us, there are two particles A and B. This one particle is A and the another particle is B, and their masses are m1 and m2. Its mass is m1, its mass is m2, and they are moving in the same direction with the different velocity v1 and v2. These are the velocities. So when they will strike each other, they are striking here, let this one is A and this one is B, and then what will happen, A will apply some force on B, so I can write it as FAB, means, sorry, it should be FBA, that is force on B due to A, and on this particle there will be another force in the opposite direction, and it can be written as FAB, that is force on A due to B. This one is force on B due to A, and this one is force on A due to B. Now after striking the particles, I can write it as they are moving with their some other velocities. A and B both are moving again in the same direction, their velocities will be changed. Let their final velocities is v1 and v2, and their initial velocities were u1 and u2. So we have taken two particles A and B having masses m1 and m2 moving in the same horizontal direction with the velocities u1 and u2. They are striking each other. Two forces will be applied, FBA and FAB, in the opposite direction, and then A will move with the different velocity v1 and B is moving with the different velocity v2. Now these forces will be equal because by Newton's third law of motion we can say action reaction pair is occurring here, so I can write it as FAB vector is equal to FBA vector, but both are in the opposite direction, so I am taking it as the negative. Now impulse of FAB is equals to, what will be the impulse of FAB? It will be equal to, impulse of FAB vector, it will be equal to change in momentum of A. I can write it as delta PA. How it is? Because we know that impulse is equals to force into time, and force into time is also equal to momentum. So change in momentum, that is delta PA, and change in momentum of A will be final momentum minus initial momentum, so I can write it as m1 v1 vector minus m1 u1 vector. Similarly, what will be the impulse of FBA? It will be equal to change in momentum of B, or I can write it as m2 v2 vector minus m1 m2 u2 vector. This is the change in momentum of B. Now what to do? Since forces are equal, so what I can write, I can multiply delta T on the both side. So FAB vector multiplied by delta T is equals to minus of FBA vector multiplied by delta T. What is this? This one is the impulse. So impulse is delta P, or I can write it as m1 v1 vector minus m1 u1 vector is equals to minus of, what is this? This is impulse of BA. So it will be m2 v2 vector minus m2 u2 vector. Now taking minus in the inside, we will get minus m2 v2 vector plus m2 u2 vector m1 v1 vector minus m1 u1 vector. Now taking v on the same side and u on the same side, we can get it as m1 v1 vector plus m2 v2 vector is equals to m1 u1 vector plus m2 u2 vector. So what is this? This one is total linear momentum after collision. Total momentum after collision. And what is this? This is total momentum before collision. So from here we can see that the total momentum after collision is equal to total momentum before collisions, means total momentum remains conserved, or I can say that It is law of conservation of momentum. So we have proved the law of conservation of momentum by using the third law, that one is action reaction pair. Now we will prove NLM 3, Newton's laws of motion third, by law of conservation of momentum. Earlier we have proved law of conservation of momentum by using Newton's third law of motion. Now it is vice versa. We have to prove Newton's laws of motion third by using the law of conservation of momentum. So what is the law of conservation of momentum? Law of conservation of momentum is the total momentum remains conserved. So I can write it as dp1 vector plus dp2 vector is equals to constant, or I can say it total, in the absence of external force, the total linear momentum is 0 when no forces are acting and there is no velocity. So when the velocity is not there, then v1 will be 0 and v2 will be 0. So their sum will also be 0. So there is the net change in the linear momentum in the absence of the force is 0. Now taking p2 towards this side, we will get it as delta p1 vector is equals to minus of delta p2 vector. And taking differentiation on the both side, I can write it as, or dividing it by delta t, delta p1 vector upon delta t will be equal to minus of delta p2 vector upon delta t. Delta p1 upon delta t will be equal to rate of change in momentum, so it will be equal to f1 vector is equals to minus of f2 vector. So these two forces are equal and acting in the opposite direction due to this negative sign, so we can say that these are the action reaction pair. So we have proved Newton's third law of motion. This one is Newton's third law of motion by using the law of conservation of momentum. Once again, why it is 0? Because we have considered two bodies of masses m1 and m2 and they are moving in a straight line and colliding against each other. Their velocities and the momenta of the two bodies undergoes a change. Let delta p1 and delta p2 are the change in the momentum, but according to law of conservation of momentum, the net change in the linear momentum in the absence of external forces 0. That's why I am taking 0, not constant here. Now we will discuss some practical examples or the practical applications of law of conservation of momentum. So I am taking first one as recoil of gun. What is recoil of gun? When a bullet is fired from a gun, the gun moves back slightly. That the movement in the backward direction is known as recoil of gun. Means if the bullet is going in this direction, then gun will move in the opposite direction. Let the mass of bullet is small m and the initial velocity was 0 and its final velocity is v. Similarly, the mass of gun is capital M, its initial velocity was 0 and final velocity is capital V, but it is in the opposite direction. So according to the law of conservation of momentum, I can write it as m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equals to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. But initial velocities of both of them was 0, so I can write it as this one whole part as 0, and first mass is mass of bullet, velocity of bullet, plus mass of gun, velocity of gun. So I can write it as velocity as minus mv upon capital M. If I take in the form of vectors, so I can put the vectors here also. So we will get the velocity vector as the just opposite direction of the velocity of gun in the just opposite direction of the velocity of bullet. That's why gun is recoiling back. So it is based on the law of conservation of momentum. Similarly, there are some other examples also, like when a man jumps out of the boat to the shore, the boat slightly moves away from the shore, like this. If there is a boat and a man jumps out from the boat, then what will happen? When he will jump in this direction, then boat will move in the opposite direction. This is also based on the law of conservation of momentum. Another example we can take it as the astronauts. When the astronauts in the free space wants to go back to the spaceship, then he used to throw some objects in the direction opposite to the direction of motion of the spaceship. When he throws some object in the opposite direction, then he get the force to move in that particular direction where the spaceship is. Also, the rocket and the jet planes also work in the principle of conservation of momentum. Explosion of bomb is also based on the conservation of momentum, in which initially the every particle of the bomb was at rest, but after moving in the different directions, then m1 v1 vector plus m2 v2 vector plus so on is equals to will remain constant, or I can say their total will be 0. So this is also based on practical applications of conservation of momentum.